What is up, guys? Eric here from EBM Productions, and I'm here to react to the Misfits fighting card this weekend and talking about my picks, etc. So let's get right into it. First off, I just want to say the event was a lot of fun until the co-main and main event started to unfold. It kind of sucked. I honestly stopped listening to the live streams because I didn't even watch, by the way. I was spending some family time with people, but I had the phone playing the live stream of Wade Plem. Shout out to Wade and the Wade Concept and the Breakdown Show. I had it playing in the background to listen to what's going on and also who's winning and everything. So if you guys watched my previous video, my prediction video, then you guys would know that I picked from the Salt Poppy versus Slim fight up till the main event. Only 3 fights. Reason being is the race didn't really interest me, just being honest. And more so because these guys are very low level amateurs fighting. The UFC fight card was a little bit more interesting, but I didn't watch that as well because I had my picks and my picks was correct. Like this post fight reaction is to me being 100% accurate on all my picks. I'm just covering the Misfits card here though, but this weekend was good for my picks. I should have put some bets down. But anyway, so Salt Poppy versus Slim happened, and Slim pulled it out right at the end with a TKO. The reason it happened, and one of my buddies, he just messaged me right after the knockout. He was like, nah, that's rigged. And I told him, pause, like slow your roll. A lot of amateurs drop their hands after they punch. Even I did this. And this same guy, we sparred at one point, and I told him, if you see me dropping my hands, and it was when I was starting out the boxing side of things, I told him, if you see me dropping my hands, you hit me, you kill me, because it needs to teach me to keep my hands up. Because I knew of this, and I still did it. And that's the problem. You can be in this game for how long? If it's a habit, it's a habit. You can break it though, but geez, it takes a long time. And also a lot of footage review and a lot of bad lessons via getting hit in the face very hard. So what happened is, I'm just gonna move back. Salt Poppy was unloading on Slim, and then he did this. And it was because he was tired already as well. You could see he was keeping his composure, but he was tired. And he dropped his hands. Slim knocked him. I think Slim threw a jab to the body and then knocked down with a short right hand. And then he knocked him down solidly, because we know Slim, even for a slim frame, can actually punch pretty hard. And then from there it was just downhill, and he got the TKO. I remember I was bouncing up and down. I just showered, was getting ready to watch a movie and stuff with the family, and I was hearing how Wade and those guys were freaking out, and I was just like, come on Slim, close the show, you have him hurt, you have been losing the whole fight, come on. And he did what he had to do. Salt Poppy could have won if his conditioning was a tiny bit better, which I told you guys was the reason I think he's gonna lose. I said Salt Poppy will get clipped because he will get tired and stuff. And that's exactly what happened. This is obviously a bad habit, but it's also a habit when you are tired. Anybody who has trained does understand this, that you drop your hands at some point when you're very bloody tired. And in the middle of the fight, that's the next level of tired. So, makes sense. He didn't do anything wrong per se. It's just he needs to learn from this one mistake. Like 99% he was fine. Next time he can get him out there. It's now Salt Poppy versus Slim. He can take Slim out if he gets this dropping of the hands ironed out and a little bit more conditioning. Not a lot. It was really on the verge of winning that whole fight, like dominating it. But yeah. Then also the Dylan Dennis versus Paul fight happened, which was abysmal. I'm so happy I didn't watch this. Like, I almost put on the fights and told the fam like, whoa, but then I was like, no, wait. I had this weird feeling. I had this sinking feeling in my heart, and I was correct. Dennis was a punching bag for most of the fight, threw a few punches, and kept trying to do MMA moves and stuff. And he got DQ'd in the end, but we could say it was literally 0 rounds to all 6, I think, for Logan. 6 or 8, I don't know. I don't really care about how many rounds it was. I was just like, I think Logan's gonna win. The reason why Dylan took this fight, and people didn't realize it, is to troll us all. This was all a joke, and I think he knew we all fell for the hype and stuff. We enjoyed the hype too much, and him taking out Nina, basically. We enjoyed this banter and stuff too much, and what happened is he knew it, so he just conned us along. He thought it was easy money, which it's not, because Dylan is getting sued out the wazoo, and I think now I don't feel as bad for it, because he literally duped us all. Because I think from day one it was his plan to not train, or barely train, and then try and guillotine Logan in the last round or near the end of the fight and choke him out. Actually, that was actually his idea. That's what Conor McGregor alluded to when he said the secret move in that one tweet. I knew at that point he's going to try something MMA related, and sadly it failed for Dylan, and I think that was karma getting him, because he went after Nina, which I can't stand up for her or what she has done in the past, because that's not the kind of girl I like. But I think karma just caught up with Dylan for duping us all, trying all this BS, not putting in any effort, and then so he lost, and he lost even the post-fight brawl. As people pointed out, he swung more for the security guard than even Logan through the whole fight, and he didn't get Logan down one at any point. This really does show the level of MMA fighter that Dylan is. Boxer, he's never been a boxer. He's never been even an amateur boxer. He's never been a stand-up fighter. He's chicken shit on the feet. And that's it. We can't say anything else. If he has a fight in the future, he will need to... we shouldn't see him fighting again. He really should just focus on jiu-jitsu and do like tutorials and stuff that he sells online or something, because I don't see him getting any fights, any noteworthy level, and I don't see him being competitive in any zone of MMA or boxing, kickboxing, nothing. This fight ruined his reputation, and it was all because he was trolling. This was a backfire troll by far. Like, I think he thought, I'll take Logan down and still get the guillotine at the end. But it didn't work out like that. Leave me know what you guys think about this in the comments. And also, for Logan's side of things, he did look horrible, in my opinion. Now, they do many times say you look as good as your opponent is in fighting, because your opponent brings out the best or it brings out the worst of your boxing style or fighting style. And it really did show in both the co-main and main event. And Logan, he punches wrong, still punches wrong. His coaches really doesn't fix anything on him. He still has the bad habit of dropping his hands. He still gasses out. He didn't gas out this time as much because he wasn't throwing as much. Really, he didn't go as crazy as he did versus Floyd. I hope this is an ego check to him as well, because of his comments towards Jake a while back. I don't think it will be, but let's hope it does, because I think he will notice that he's really not on that level at all. At all. Low level, amateur level max. And I mean like 10-year-olds doing boxing since they are 8 or 5 level. That's what I'm 100% saying. So it was abysmal. I'm happy I didn't watch. And Logan, if he really wants to be on the level of his brother, he needs to put in the work right now. He shouldn't be chilling out with Nina and just hanging back and thinking in his head that, I did well. You did not do well. You looked horrible because of your opponent, yes, but you looked horrible because of your skill level as well. You are not close to Jake, not in any realm. Any realm, just put in the work. Shut up and put in the work. That's another thing I would say. Always, I tell people, you can talk a lot if you have put in the work. Then you're sharp. If you're not putting in the work, then why are you talking? So I hope he keeps his mouth shut and just pushes on, does right by the people that he scammed, and then slowly fixes his career. although shouldn't be rooting for that. Anyway, let's move on. I'm getting depressed because I'm thinking about how he screwed a lot of people over. And this fight even was an indirect screwing as well. Let's move on to KSI versus Tommy Fury. Oh, this was a confuzzled mess. This was a confuzzled mess and a half. Tommy looked decent versus Jake, and that was a really competitive fight. And I was like, okay, he does belong in this influencer scene, but he's maybe just above it. But this fight really put a damper and a half on that, like crazy. And to think, right after he fought Jake, he called out Vidal Riley. I'm like, bro, Riley would kill you with his jab alone, and let's say even an eye patch on one eye. I'm not going to say blindfolded, but close enough. Anyway, a lot of people are pissed that KSI probably should have won, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel Tommy did do better. He landed better. He landed more, barely. Apparently they are equal on the punch stats. Really weird to me. It's really weird. And then also KSI was, sorry to say this, he was running. He was running the most of the fight and hugging. People that don't know fighting calls that hugging, but it's actually clinching. He was clinching constantly like Logan did in the rematch versus KSI. So it's really strange that KSI was doing this. I think he realized instantly that, oh shit, I can't hurt this guy, so I'm not going to be able to push him back or gain his respect even. So yeah, it was KSI running, clinching, and throwing shots in between. The last round he threw a few good shots, and that's it. Other than that, Tommy abandoned his jab midway through the fight. It was throwing awkward, weird shots. It was just a mess. And yeah, had a point deduction for hitting behind the back of the head. Now, anybody starting out in boxing knows that when you're like fighting with somebody at a low level, they land here or on the back of the head quite often because they can't gauge their distance when throwing properly. They throw awkwardly and kind of shorten their shots like this. They land like this when throwing an overhand. They don't throw it fully extended. My arms is a little bit too long here. You guys get the idea though. Like, they don't land with the full extension. Even with an overhand, you fully extend. You extend and stop the shots from coming with your shoulder. So, KSI didn't have his distance down. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of small aspects that led to that, but he doesn't know how to gauge his distance. That was the main problem here. Now, apparently he's appealing the decision in the end. I think it's not going to go well for him. And overall, this was just crap. That's all I'm going to say. Both of these guys really need to keep working on their skills. 1, shut up is number 2. And 3, they need to fight a lower level of opponent. Now, I'm going to get to who these guys, all of these guys should fight next. Just because that's an interesting thing to talk about right now, post these messy fights. First up Slim versus Poppy. Okay, I'm going to talk about Salt Poppy first. I think he should rematch Anthony Taylor. Oh no, shit, yeah, Taylor won. That's a problem. Okay, let's say one of the fighters that lost on this card. That's who he should fight. I think actually King Kenny would be a good idea. Didn't he lose as well? I didn't watch at that point, so yeah. Anyway, one of the guys who lost it, decent. That's who he should fight. That's more along his size. Slim versus Gibb makes a lot of sense. I like that fight. That's a fight that excites me. Only problem is I think Gibb would pepper him until he sleeps. Logan, for winning, I'll get to who I think he should fight, but okay, let's say Dennis first. Dennis, nobody. Stop. Go make some tutorials on jiu-jitsu and screw off. Although I'm saying this, I know he's going to talk a lot of shit and maybe get a stupid fight again, but nobody's going to watch it this time. Hopefully. For Logan, because I jumped the gun now, because it clicked in my head, I'm like, get him Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall talked shit on the mic in the presser. Then get him Bryce Hall. Or let Deji and Bryce Hall fight and the winner fights Logan. I think that's a good idea as well. Then for KSI and Tommy, KSI, I think, oh shit, this is also a hard one because, yeah, there's not a lot of guys that he can fight. Wait, Anthony Taylor can get his wish. Let him fight Anthony Taylor. That makes a lot more sense now because KSI lost. He lost, and both of them lost to Tommy Fury. It makes a lot more sense. For Tommy, rematch Jake. Rematch Jake. Jake won one fight after losing to Tommy. I think it governs a rematch. Plus, Jake being better a year later, or a little bit less than a year later, means the fight is more interesting, especially after this shitty performance from Tommy Fury. That's what I think. That's what I think really should happen next. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.